GF Burke, loving the KAS layer 1 open source $100,000 bag, or 100K bag, I should say. It doesn't mean 100,000. You know what I mean? Check that insane chart. Okay, I could do that real quick, actually. It's worth noting. So, loving the KAS. Let's pull that up. Shout out to Papa X Max. He was mentioning Rio, and the other one he told me, he's like, Max, you really got to look into Kaspa. So Mike Cornwell, the guy who originally, right, introduced Rio to me, Papa X Max, in the same breath mentioned you also got to look really into Kaspa. So you did really well, obviously, in Rio, right? 8 cents, now well over 30 cents. So this is Kaspa. Let's get into this for just a brief moment. Kaspa, you know, let's see where we're at. So we have a ranking of 219. We have a market cap that's confirmed by CMC of 276,865,000. There's 61% of the current circulating or the supply in circulation. It is at 17,426,989,000. You do have, for instance, hold on. There we go. A total supply of not like pretty much the total supply is what's in circulating. Max supply is a little over 28 billion of these things. Before we get into like some of the, what this is, the markets, as far as decentralized, there's no data to show. I don't know if that means that there is. But I guess it's mainly centralized. Yeah, it is centralized. I wouldn't get it on Gate.io. I mean, especially if you're here in the United States. So I would go with MEXC personally. So they have a KS USDT pairing. Okay, let's see what's going on with that. We'll take you to the Kaspa site. Here it is. It says they are beyond the block. Kaspa is the fastest open source, decentralized, and fully scalable layer 1, like you were mentioning, in the world. The world's first block DAG, a digital ledger enabling parallel blocks and instant transaction confirmation, built on a robust proof of work engine with rapid single second block intervals. So they're a layer 1 proof of work. Okay. Built by industry pioneers, led by the people. All right, let's see here. All right, yeah, at a glance, because that's what we're doing. We're doing at a glance. So Kaspa's a community project, completely open source with no central governance, following the ethos of coins like Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Monero. Well, that's Monero's. Like, wow. It's expensive, but man, that Monero, if you got the money, like extra money, that's not bad. Not financial advice, but on a true bull run, that will really, really stand out, Monero. If you guys want some time, we can take more of a deeper dive into Monero. I'm just being honest. That one is solid. Not personally invested into that, mainly because I want my money to kind of go a little bit further. But I also understand that even picking up a handful of these, like, are you kidding? Mid to long term would be fine. All right, this is not about Monero, but I'm just throwing that out. The coin was fair launched without pre-mining or any other pre-allocation of coins. There's in-depth details in regards to Kaspa features. We'll pull that up, but I'm not going to go to that. But I have it primed, ready to go. They originally launched November 7th of 2021. They have a hashing algorithm. That's interesting. Again, consensus is proof of work, not proof of stake. Okay, so they are interoperable with Windows. Also, you have OS X, Linux, and even a Raspberry Pi. I have a brand new Raspberry Pi. It hasn't even been open. Isn't that horrible? All right, so some of the stats we reported earlier. Here's a particular visualization, apparently. I guess you guys already saw that while I was reading that. All right, so hold on a second. Let me see if there's anything further down. All right, so there is. This is pretty good. So Kaspa is a proof of work cryptocurrency which implements the Ghost DAG protocol. Unlike traditional blockchains, Ghost DAG does not orphan blocks created in parallel, but rather allows them to coexist and orders them in consensus. So it's like a consensus algorithm. whereby Kaspa is actually a block DAG. You can see Ghost DAG in action in real time via block DAG visualizer. This generation of Nakamoto consensus allows for secure operation while maintaining very high block rates, currently 1 block per second, aiming for 32 seconds with visions of 100 a second, minus minuscule confirmation times dominated by, let's see, hold on. So on the surface, without even taking more of a deeper dive to this, it sounds like they are using some of the things that are mentioned from, like the Satoshi, Nakamoto white paper. Like it says consensus, but the difference is obviously it's a heck of a lot faster and more efficient compared to the old technology, while using, like the original groundwork, if you will. But scale, I imagine they're scaling on that. They need to, at least. The Casper implementation, includes a lot of cool features and sub protocols, including reachability to query the DAG's topology, block data pruning with near future plans for block data pruning. I have to learn about that. I'm going to take another one of that. With near future plans for block header pruning, SPV proofs, and later subnet work support, which will make future implementation of layer 2 much easier. All right. All right. So you know what? I have these other tabs up. Give me a second. So let's take a look at this. So here's some of their specific deep dive features, right? I did open up that particular tab. Casper was developed to solve the trilemma in the uses of digital assets, security, scalability, and decentralization. And for those who are just tuning in and you're like, what the heck is this? What is this? I thought I came in to get some news about, all the other ones we normally cover. The reason why I want to point this out is because the guy who originally introduced me to Rio, which, by the way, guys, went from 8 cents to or 30 cents, right? Very, very scarce, low market cap gem, in my opinion, right? Like only 75 million tokens. In the same breath of air, he mentioned Kaspa. And that's why I don't want to dismiss this. Because my thing is, what if this is another gem? It's worth trying to find out what stands out for him. So with Rio, it's, real estate on the blockchain, right? Tokenization of real estate, yada, yada. What the heck is Kaspa? So if you're just joining us, we're basically on the surface taking like a little bit of a intro / deep dive or quick dive into Kaspa. All right. So developed to solve the trilemma in the usage of digital assets. We'll open up that particular tab as well. All right, cool. So they do have security. It is scalable. Remember, I was mentioning that earlier. Is it scalable? It is, apparently. That's at least what it says. I mean, I don't doubt that. And decentralization, utilizing a revolutionary block DAG as opposed to blockchain. Casper allows the fastest, scalable, and most secure transactions with absolutely no sacrifice to decentralization. So my thing is, if you have a Satoshi or Nakamoto consensus, that is your foundational, I guess you could say, blueprint, but not completely like following that, because basically it would just be another Bitcoin clone. I don't think that's the case. Obviously, it's not. But they're sticking to the concept of true decentralization, which people have mentioned that's what equals freedom. That's what Bitcoin maxis want to state. But it's not going to sacrifice decentralization. So to me, on the surface, it's supposed to be a lot like, oh my God, is this actually turning into BSV? Cool Cat, are you still here? Maybe you're into this. I don't know. Fastest transactions. Kaspa's block DAG network generates multiple blocks every second for posting transactions to the ledger, combined with fully confirmed transactions in 10 seconds. This makes Kaspa a deal for everyday transactions. Instant confirmation. Kaspa was designed to be hundreds of times faster than Bitcoin. Okay. With each Kaspa transaction visible to the network in 1 second, and each transaction fully confirmed in 10 seconds on average. Scalability. Kaspa solves the scalability problem with its ability to generate and confirm multiple blocks per second. This comes with no trade-off to security and decentralization, as seen with proof of stake networks. Efficient proof of work. All right, let's talk about it because it seems like there's a lot of focus on proof of work. Casper utilizes the optical mining ready K-heavy hash algorithm for consensus and security of the network. The algorithm combined with high throughput DAG and no wasted blocks makes it less energy intensive than other proof of work networks. Okay. Wonder how many miners are really on this though. All right, so let's see here. Security is fine. Block DAG. Overcoming the problem of blockchains, Casper processes all blocks in parallel, linking all side chains. This leads to a DAG structure that increases the formation of blocks per second drastically, creating a block DAG. All right. What was that part? Fastest transactions. Hold on a second. The ability for cryptocurrency to be utilized for everyday transactions has been limited by the lack of speed in the most popular networks, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. This has prevented their mass adoption. Limitations in speed. Yeah, we know about this. All right, hold on a second. Kaspa solves this problem. Okay, here's the juicy stuff. Maybe. Through a novel approach, block DAG, which creates multiple blocks every second. Okay, we did kind of read some of that before. This approach means transactions get entered into the network and ready for confirmation almost instantly. So, oh man. So I imagine like kind of like when I buy certain things or I have certain transactions, you have to wait for that confirmation back. I don't know, like you guys seen some of this stuff. But on the other hand, this is instant. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to find out. I mean, like a lot of this sounds good, but to be honest, I'm not trying to toot Cool Cat Crypto's horn. I mean, maybe a little bit. On the surface, and I'm sure Cool Cat, you're doing more deep dive into BSV than anybody. I'm just saying on the surface. I'm just kind of, reading this just like you guys. Well, on the surface, it just sounds like it kind of rivals in its own way. I'm not saying it's exactly like it because I'm not saying that BSV uses like hash consensus or whatever, right? Obviously they use their own algorithm, like it says right here, in a very efficient core heavy one that high hashing power per watt as compared to most proof of work algorithms. So on the surface, Cool Cat, if you were still here, if you had to compare this with BSV, because I'm not saying this is like just like BSV, it's not. On the surface, like there's some similarities. Can we at least say that a little bit? My thing is this: why is Papa X Max mentioning this in the same breath? I mean, all this is, don't get me wrong, all this is very appealing. It sounds good, and I also understand. Who is it? Mr. Burke, like you're into this, you love it, and so on. You guys gonna have to educate me. This is where you guys educate me. All right. So let me know what really, really stands out for you guys in that. Like, I'll read this comment again. Loving the Cas layer 1 open source 100,000 bag. Check that insane chart. My thing is, I would like to know a little bit more of what stands out for you guys. Speaking of the chart, we're gonna go back to that for a second. All right, so let me go to the overview. And how long has this been around again? Start out 2022 at 0.003. And burn 2 zeros. That is an insane chart. So this is the insane chart. That's a constant. Yeah, that is insane. Okay, now I'm getting it. Now Max is seeing the light. Because I mean, look at that. We talk about like you never want to catch a falling knife. This is the opposite of a falling knife. I mean, no kidding, right? That's a beautiful chart. My God. Holy cow. So there's something here that I'm totally missing, obviously. All right, that definitely caught my attention. The graph is what spoke for this whole thing. I was just trying to read like the technicals and trying to find out like, well, what's the main thing? Sometimes on CMC they do a good job of kind of giving you the gist of what the project is. Hold on a second. We're talking about the whole thing with pruning. I don't know. We could get more into the details later, but I don't know. Besides the chart, what really does it for you guys?
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have not yet subscribed, do yourself a favor and subscribe for more information on the ISO 222 compliant tokens, and hit the notification bell to make sure that you are aware of the new videos when they come up. Max and I cover these ISOs, and we also have a live show every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in for that. You won't want to miss it. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next video.